time. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's another episode of Adventure Maidens, episode 54. Wow, you guys. We're in our 50s. We're so hot and flirty.
We are thriving.
We're 50.
I'm in my
thriving.
Nicole Kidman era.
Oh, yes. Born for this. Yes. Oh, man. Well, I'm very excited to be back because we're doing some pretty interesting hex crawling business going on right now. And our bold heroes have decided to take on a very big foe. Just go right for the hardest option, which I love. But we'll get into that in a second. I should say, hey, this is Venture Maidens. We're a D&D 5th edition 2020-2014 / Tales of the Valiant actual play stream that converts to a podcast. This is a very mature stream, so if you don't want to hear swearing and talking about alcohol and descriptions of graphic fantasy violence, this is not the stream for you. Go get out of here. Also, some content warnings in general. We just keep a body horror warning up, just again for that fantasy violence. I will say also we will probably be earning it this episode. We're moving into a swamp terrain, so we're adding some other content warnings here, like rot, decay, mold. Those are all themes that you can expect in this episode, because swamps are cool but super gross. I think that's the biz. So let's dive in. Hey everybody, my name is Celeste Conowitch, and tonight I will be your game master.
Hello, I'm Katie, and I'm going to be playing Louvery Sap, your Drow Wizard.
Drow Wizard.
I gotta update the overlay because that's so good. The
rizziest wizard that ever rizzed. And I'm Nassim. I'm playing your half-orc fighter, Tony Silvertail, and just your little baby button druid also.
And I am Sage, and today I will be your bloodthirsty bard, Aoife Flannery.
Ooh, them's fighting words from our young bard, young Aoife. Oh my. Wow. Well, prove it. I'm very, very excited. So yeah, okay, before we do it, tell me guys, what the heck happened last time in the fun times of random and hexacrawling?
First, we feasted.
Yes.
We had our little heroes feast with the other gang of adventurers who were hoping to have a discussion with the Queen of the Blossom Court. We gained some much-needed temp HP and inspiration from that meal, and then we were set on our course into the new arena for the final challenge all together. Without Ravain, we learned that Ravain didn't pass his trial, so we're going in blind without him.
Yep.
And we entered this large field with a statue at the center that told us what we had to do to get going, and we're here in this arena to find 3 golden blossoms. Oh, my windows are open. I should have closed those first.
The sounds of LA drifting.
So the other people on the team, I don't know if I got all their details, but there is a Knight of Pentacles, a Knight of Cups, a Knight of Swords, and then the last one I just put Celestial Knight purple.
Wait, did you say wands? Wands, yes. So the wands. 4 tarot suits.
Yeah. And we got started. We started traveling through the field, and the first thing we found officially was another statue, and we investigated it and activated it, and it told us we could choose between a boon or a clue, and we chose a boon. And what did it give us again?
Gave us you could either have dark vision or you could see really, really far out. I think like 3 miles or something like that.
Or you could spend 4 of the charges to cast the arcane eye. It was the charm of the watcher.
Yeah.
Yep. So you got a cool ass charm. Yeah.
We got team tats.
I think the first thing you got. Wait, did he get fucked by lightning? Because that was a lot of fun for the GM.
Yeah, it was the first the altar where we stepped in, and it was like
the entryway altar.
One.
Yeah.
And then we decided, all right, let's start digging into this forest, and then that's when a lightning storm hit, and Aoife got destroyed.
Rest in peace, Aoife. Your hair will never be the same.
No, split ends
for
forever.
Sure. Oh my god, yeah. It's a nightmare. Yes, and then finally we eventually slowed down so that we could more easily dodge the lightning. And then we stumbled into some ruins territory and we started traveling through there. And in one of these ruins hexes, we found this kind of, I think, like this crumbled kind of coliseum. And in the basement of it was hundreds of statues of heroes who were all, as we sussed out, people who are petrified and left here as just stone idols. And that was where we found Ravain as he was in this sort of bowing pose or of supplication, turned to stone. We're like, we can't do anything for you now, buddy, but we'll be back, I promise.
Fingers crossed.
And then I can bring up my little map.
I'm pretty sure after that, that's when we traveled out and we found the wall.
Yeah, with the next altar.
Yeah,
We
with the
decided
next
to continue
altar.
to follow that.
Yeah, and
that was when we got the clue.
Yeah, the clue that the dragons are going to be near the corners of the map. And so we traveled forward after that until we ran into some spiders. What were they? I always forget what they're called.
Phase spiders.
I always want to say warp spiders.
It's basically
phase spiders. And Aoife came in clutch and played a little ditty that put all but one to sleep. And we were able to rescue this golden elf that was tied up in the webbing. And we carried her off with us since she was unconscious until we found the world's best treehouse that basically when we climbed up into it, it was like on another plane, I think.
In a pocket, like mini dimension, basically.
Yeah. And we found a map that gave us some information about where the one dragon was in the swamp, where we could find a fountain. And eventually, the golden lady woke up while Lou was awake and was acting highly sus because it turns out that it was a little baby dragon. Yeah. So we got to talk to them and they gave us some more insight, basically telling us that, one, we shouldn't kill the dragons. Two, they would really love a lair of their own.
Poor Bud. Bud, the little baby dragon. Yeah. Do you remember he was a sunflower head? So
the cutest, honestly. Yeah. I was like, do we really need to impress the Green Lady, or can we just rub their belly for like an eon? Is really the big question of this campaign.
It comes down to.
Yeah, so we told Bud basically, if you see anybody else, don't talk to them because they're not going to be nice like us. And we had them pull up the ladder so that they couldn't at least easily get up into that dimensional pocket.
So hopefully keep the knights away from getting the same information Bud was able to give you.
And then we traveled on and we started getting to the point where Forest was meeting Swamp, and Aoife defused a situation on what should this tile be? It's supposed to be Swamp. No, it's supposed to be Forest. And ultimately they decided that it could be both. So don't go to that tile.
It makes it worse for all adventurers. Yay!
Oh, and we found Emily this day too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you found Emily.
Yeah. She and Tony did not see eye to eye.
Did not
Lou turned on the girl talk charm and really just empathized with the sword. And now she has a sword which she's not proficient in, but she has all sorts of other benefits, can translate things, has blind sight, and all these other cool things that have already been a benefit as she translated some things for Lou. And then we got to, I think, the tile before the dragon tile in the swamp, where we met with the Blue Knight.
Yep, the Knight of Cups.
And he seemed weirdly chill. And he was like, hey, just so you guys know, we have all split up to cover more ground and see what we can find out. We can communicate with each other. And I'd be willing to trade you the information that I have about the swamp area if you guys give me the information that you have. And we were like, nah, son.
Nah,
And he was
boy.
like, all right, that's cool. And basically just walked off.
Well, he also warned you. He's like, all right, well, just warning you, like, the other knights are not going to be anywhere near chill as me, so watch out for them. Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, and then walked into the mist.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did finger guns when he was leaving. It was really weird.
Oh man, I wish we could have talked to him more, but I took way too literally the terms of his deal and should have just asked him more questions. But alas, here we are.
Alas. Alas. But yeah. Cool. Yeah. Good shit. A lot of stuff. Some other things that you've learned that I didn't hear. You guys learned some more information about these dragons. Do you want to break that down for me as a reminder? Because you know a lot about them now.
Yeah, Bud gave us the breakdown, and that three of his aunts and uncles are the ones who were the keepers of the blossom this time around. And Lily lives on an island over a lake, so we know that there's a lake region that we haven't discovered yet. Rose lives in the stone tower, a stone tower, so in somewhere within the ruins. And then Lotus, the one who we are immediately next to, lives in the swamp and is apparently the hardest, baddest bitch there is.
Yes, of the three.
And that's the one we're going for first.
So bad, in fact. The Blue Knight was
Classic Venture Maidens.
Yeah, I sketched it out, and I thought this was too hard, so we're not doing that. Bye. Yeah, no worries. I'm sure it'll be fine. But good fucking recap. A lot has happened. That's kind of the fun nature of the random tables and rolling. You guys have been rolling fucking great. You have so much goddamn treasure. I literally had to make a new treasure table because you ran through so much treasure, you jerks. But that's fine. That's good. Good for you. I hope it helps you in this fight. But yeah, let's start there. So you had been left basically, in this swamp tile, and because you had that encounter with the Blue Knight here, essentially it's a relatively safe tile at the moment. Of course, as you look around, you realize you are getting further and further into the heart of this swamp. And some characteristics of swamps, for those who are not familiar. One, they are muddy and wet, and it's very hard to ever find somewhere solid to step. So you are moving now, just as a reminder for hex crawling in this region, you literally cannot move at a fast pace because that's how fucked the ground is, and it's very hard to walk. Basically, everything here is considered difficult terrain, which means you move at half speed. And then also, there are a lot of bugs. So there's a lot of just mosquitoes and other insects. So every time you think, you have a moment of peace, there's something that buzzes past your ear or just like feels that brush on the skin. So it's just the tactile horribleness of it all. There's also a persistent fog that has kind of rolled in here. So you know that, because you set out, you had a long rest, so you slept through the night, and you set out pretty early. So you're only a few hours, into the day. So it should be around midday, the highest point of the day. But still, it's not sunny here. It's an oppressive gray, sort of haze that hangs over everything. And you can see, beyond you, as the swamp gets thicker, that mist becomes thicker and like a heavy fog that rolls over everything. And there's something weird about it too. The fog seems to just shift these sort of gross green and yellow scintillating colors that just is very disturbing to visually take in. And then of course wildlife, the sounds is just like an orchestra of the buzzing of bugs and the croaking of frogs and the splashing of bigger things moving around in the fog that you can't see. And there is a lot going on around you as you're standing on this little dry island, right, where there was this ruined table and the ruins of some kind of stone thing all around you. So here you are, standing there on some solid ground with just miles of this shitty swamp around you. So what is the plan, gang? What are we doing in this moment?
I would say, even though we had said that we want to start off with a faster pace at the beginning of the day, I think knowing that we're going into trouble and looking for this dragon's lair, I think we should definitely move at a slower speed so that we can stealth and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. I will say, because if you are moving directly into the tile next to you, so the tile, once again, as a reminder, we move in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you move 1 to the southwest, you're basically going to be entering the Lotus Dragon Lair tile. So because we know what's going on there, we won't be rolling all the normal stuff, like for the hex crawl stuff. So we won't be rolling on the random table, for encounters or what happens. You'll just be moving straight in to there. So yeah, setting the pace is pretty much the only choice you have to make. Because don't worry, I've put plenty of nasty things in there that aren't randomly determined that you will have to deal with. Congratulations. So, yeah, and since you're not moving through that tile, there's basically no reason not to travel at a slow pace at this point.
Yeah, 100%. And then I think while we have a period of relative quiet,
yeah, before
Aoife's going to break her instincts, and she is actually going to take this opportunity while we have a minute to transform into her Fae form.
Ooh, we haven't seen you transform into that yet. Like, give us a new, what's the visual? What happens? Or do you do it by yourself in a corner and then come back and shiny? Like, what's your deal?
I think as, this is the first time that she's doing it after accepting this boon, so she really doesn't know what to expect, so she kind of wants to be around her friends just in case, who knows, but as she tells Lou and Tony to be like, to hold, and Rook to hold for a moment, and she just focuses on that kind of line between like your present consciousness and like in a daydream, and feels that fuzzy outline at the edge of her mind, and pushes into that kind of creative exploratory territory in her mind. And what the three of them see is that her flesh, it looks like it's being bound very, very tightly by thread.
Ooh.
And there's like this sort of bursting moment where, emerging from underneath her mortal flesh, you see the just burst of shimmering in color as you see her perfect fae skin just sort of bursts from underneath and becomes ultra saturated against this dim gray environment.
Hell yeah. So shiny. I think even Rook has to do the like the just the gasp, like just the transformation.
Yeah, every time that
itself.
happens, it's like a little grotesque, but also really cool. So
Yeah.
Tony does the same, like,
Whoa. All right, remind us of the mechanics going on here with this one more time for the folks who might not remember. What's the rules of your transformation? What happens to you? Like, how long can you stay like this?
Indeed, so it takes a minute to transform, and it lasts until long rest, and as an action, she can revert back to her mortal form. And while in her Fae form, she is immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks, immune to the charm condition, and immune to any effects that would put her to sleep or cause her to become unconscious. And because of her dreamlike allegiance, she is able to move through objects and terrain, and as if it was difficult terrain, so she has this kind of ethereal ghost form. And yeah, that's
Hell
it.
yeah.
So it lasts until she goes to sleep, and then it sort of naturally reverts.
Good fucking choice. Wonderful. Yes. This is also a good moment, before we move into Hell Tile, if there's anything else you all would like to do or say or strategize, now is the time. Now is the time. You have even a table that's set up. This weird, you have no idea where the Blue Knight got it from, but it looks like one of those like shitty rusted like outdoor cast iron garden tables, you might pull out of the weeds at your nan's house, right? And like set up.
We don't know if the lair is like in a cave or if it's just the terrain in general, right?
Yeah, you have no idea. You assume that the lair itself will be a smaller location because, as a reminder, each of these hexes is, I think, a couple miles across.
Mm-hmm. Would it be worth popping off one of our like 3 mile things to kind of scout ahead in a way?
Yeah, I will let you see the tiles around you and then also give you advantage on trying to find the lair if you do that. Though you won't auto see it, but basically you'll have a pretty good idea because also, again, the fog and the shittiness of this area.
Yeah.
But I will give you advantage on checks to find it.
Okay. I can go ahead and use mine since I don't need it for dark vision or anything.
Nice. Okay, cool. All right, so since you can see 3 miles, let me just double check. I wrote it down how wide the tiles were. I got a folder, you guys. This is how intense
wow
the handouts were for running a hex crawl. My God. Oh yeah, so each hex is 2 miles across. Yes. Good. So you'll be able to see all around you. Okay, so in the hexes you are in, so Sage, for the map purposes, first off, every tile around you, so the tile in position 1 is a swamp. You already know that the tile in position 2, you just came from that, that's a swamp. The tile in position 6, so to the northwest, is swamp. And then obviously the dragon's tile is swamp as well. And you can confirm that on the dragon's tile, that southernmost point is a wall. And the one in the southeast, so position 3, is also a wall. Cool. And so Lou, as you're like squinting and, looking, maybe you climb up probably on one of the crumbling stone pillars or something around whatever this fallen structure was, you can get sort of a better vantage point of the swamp. And again, that fog, you see, it almost becomes like a thick gas, like the closer and closer you get kind of towards the center of that next tile there, and you see like lights flickering around inside it. You're not sure if they're like, I don't know, fireflies or bigger something, but like this storm of purple and green and yellow just like scintillating makes it very hard to see towards where the center of that dragon tile is. But all around it, you're looking, you're scanning, you don't see a lot of larger like natural structures, things like caves or hills to indicate like something around that area. So you feel like where that center is, where you really can't see, that's gotta be like whatever this lair is, because dragons don't just like, do holes in the ground. They usually have some kind of central structure that they roost in,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Right. Climb on down and I will report that back to everybody.
So you will have advantage on any survival checks you make in this place to try and locate the dragon's lair.
Sounds good. I think I have anything else to prepare.
Did you want to attune to Emily? I feel you can do that over an hour, right? Let me just double check. If you did want to take a short rest, you could do so.
Yeah, I would do that.
Cool.
It's not gonna it's gonna be nice to have blind sight, I'm sure.
Yeah, so it's like technically it's not you that has blind sight, but you can consult her. It is nice because you can telepathically communicate with the sword, so any of you can, as long as you're touching her. But if you are tuned to her, you don't even need to be touching her to like get the benefits of that kind of auto translate.
Yeah. And one thing about my girly Emily, she's a talker. So
she is. She'll
let me know.
She will. Yes. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Emily? I did send over those stats so you could break it down a little bit more. This +3 fucking legendary longsword. Please do.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So she has a golden blade with emerald. She's a very beautiful girl.
Yes.
Um,
Things
and
go.
she has the sword
guess
of sharpness effect. So when you attack an object with the sword, you deal maximum damage against the target.
Mm-hmm.
When you attack a creature and roll a 20 on the attack does an extra 14 slashing damage. None of these things matter too much because I can't fucking use it.
You can. So again, as a reminder, you can absolutely use a weapon you aren't proficient with. The only penalty is that you don't get to add your proficiency bonus to attack rolls. And I will point out, your proficiency bonus is +3, and she has a +3 sword. So it's basically the same.
The trade-off is that it's not a finesse item,
Right.
so you don't get to have your sneak attack, but it does do cool shit.
Yeah, it's also, you would have to use your strength modifier to deal the bonus damage. But again, it's
My
a +3.
strength modifier,
so.
0, you mean?
Yes.
That strength modifier?
But you would still get +3 extra damage, and so it's not the worst thing in the world to strategically use.
I think that we're just going to be associates and not... But yeah.
Strangers in the night.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe one day she and Tony will make up. I don't know. Tony's like, fuck no.
God.
Fuck her. All right. And then also, if I roll a 20, I can potentially lop off one of the target's limbs with the effect of such loss determined by the DM.
Yeah. So
if it has no limbs to sever,
yeah.
I just chop off a portion of the body. So then she's also got the Let There Be Light. I can shed a green-hued bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 if I speak the command word. And then spells.
Yeah, so this is if you attune. Yeah.
Yep. So I have 6 charges. A creature attuned to the sword can use an action to expend 1 or more charges to cast one of the following spells from it without material components: fly, polymorph, and transport via plants. Which actually is fucking cool because we could potentially transport back to that treehouse if we need to.
Bingo.
Just thought of that. Fucking sick.
I'll say
All right.
any forest tile you've been in, you can use this spell to go to a tree in any forest tile you've been in. So this is kind of a game changer.
So huge. Thank you, Emily.
Yeah, girl.
And then lastly, she's sentient, obviously. She's got an intelligence of 17, smart girl, wisdom of 12, charisma of 20.
Yes.
And it has hearing and blind sight out to a range of 120 feet. It communicates telepathically with its attuned wielder and can speak, read, and understand Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Sylvan. And it can ascertain the true value of any gemstone brought within 5 feet. And for personality, Celeste has written, "You'll see."
I think it's always more fun when you don't know what the sword... So, because again, a reminder, in sentient items, they always have something they want. And if you go against what they want, you come into conflict. And at that point, if you're attuned to a sentient item that comes into conflict with, there are several things that can happen. One, the most dramatic being, the sentient item can actually possess your body and take control of you and make you do what it wants. That's one possibility. So you come to like contested checks, and it's some crazy shit. So while having a sentient item is awesome because they're usually really good, you do have to keep it happy, and it will, if you go against whatever it wants, like, things could get sticky. So
I'm really gonna have to talk to my girlfriend about the new person in our relationship.
Yeah,
gotta keep her happy.
You do have Emily definitely has some relationship issues. You've seen that, so who knows? But that's a fun thing to. With great power comes great responsibility.
Let's see if we live through this dragon fight. We'll go from there.
We'll worry about it then. Yep. Well, it's fine. Yeah, cool. So, okay, so you can attune to an item over the course of an hour, and I don't believe you're attuned to anything else, so you have plenty of slots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we are officially moving to Tales of the Valiant rules when it comes to attunement. So, attunement is you can attune to a number of items equal to your proficiency bonus.
Cool.
So it will scale
Easy.
up. So better than the flat 3 forever and 5e.
Nice. I love it. Oh man, good shit.
We need some
I'm ready.
magic items. We got so much treasure now. We can buy some.
Yeah, well, you are
Right.
also rolling in magic items too, so I don't know. Yeah, so this is a short rest now, so also keep in mind too, some of like the oils and stuff you got, like take time to apply. So if there's anything else you want to pop or like use, keep in mind this is a good time to do that too.
We should
Potion of flying is something I have my eye on, but I don't
have
know.
at it.
Yeah, I
Go for
definitely
it.
feel like Tony would be best served by having the potion of flying.
Yeah, on your person, just in case. Yeah.
I feel like for Aoife or Lou, I think would really benefit from the oil of slipperiness for the freedom of movement, so that we can't be grappled, so we can maintain our mobility, so we can be able to I can run over, make sure that I can run over to heal people, or that Lou can she can get in
Stab.
with sneak attack and stuff. Yeah.
I will also say
That's all I do.
I have officially now converted Rook to the Tales of the Valiant Ranger, so Rook can move through non-magical and magical difficult terrain, no problem. Her speed is never reduced by it. That's just a ranger feature in TOV.
And
so.
Rook should absolutely have that oil to make one of her
Yep.
pieces of ammunition into an arrow of slaying.
Arrow
Yeah, I
of
think we talked about
Slay.
that yesterday. God.
And
Last time.
you all did get to pick the type. Would you like that type to be dragon?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like that's a good choice.
We
It's a
should
good choice,
definitely
boys and
pop that
girls.
off in the beginning, though, so we don't have to worry about killing
it accidentally. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so that is also something to talk about because Bud did mention that these dragons are like the pets.
Babies.
They're pets of the Blossom Sovereign. So is the strategy going to be not auto murder or yes? We should probably talk about that. I don't think we've talked about that in character.
Yeah. Guys, listen. These are not little rhubarbs. She can't bring them back. So I think we're all on the same page here that we beat the shit out of it without trying to actually kill it. And then hopefully in the end we can just talk. If not, knock it out, I think is the game plan.
Yeah, I definitely have no interest in doing any kind of lethal harm to these creatures. They're only here to serve our purposes. We're here to do a job, so
I would be fucking pissed if we win just to have the Green Lady decide that she's killing us for
hates
killing her
you.
pets.
Yeah.
It would make it harder to negotiate a treaty with the sovereign when you've just killed their favorite pet.
Yeah. Just killed this woman's dog and then you want a favor from her. Yeah, sure.
Holy John
Hey,
Wick.
do you want to be my friend? I know I just killed
Hey,
your dog,
friends
but
now, right? Like, let's work together.
it's totally your dog's fault.
And then we died.
Oh my god. Oh, jeez. Also, don't forget, you have an obligation now to Bud the Dragon. So you promised him you'd defeat one of these dragons and he could take over their lair so he can be a big, cool dragon now. So
Yeah.
Be a big boy dragon.
don't
I
forget
have
that.
Yeah. I have a feeling that this one's probably not going to be the one.
You don't want to send a tiny sunflower boy into a hideous swamp like lair.
It's not even that. It's just so much that I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But apparently this dragon's a huge asshole and scary. So
Yeah. Cool. Good. So, all right. So we've set Rook up with the arrow of slaying. Tony, you have that potion of flying in your backpack. And just home rule, I'll just say right now, it's a bonus action to drink a potion that you have on your person. It's an action to feed a potion to somebody else is how I like to play it. So,
unless you're me.
Sounds good.
Unless you're Katie, then you just do it for free. Because, Venture Maiden subclass for days. Using actions, no problem. Objects, done. Fuck yeah.
All right.
We ready?
Let's go almost slay a dragon.
Ooh. Okay. So slow pace, which means that we have a +10 to our passive checks. For our navigator, who I'm assuming you want Rook to be that person, unless somebody has a higher survival.
No.
Yes.
Get it, girl.
Rook has like a +9 to that, so cool. All right, so you begin to move. So you are officially shifting now to the number 4 position as you move into this new tile. And as described earlier, things only get worse as you move into this particular swamp terrain, because this is the heart. This is the heart of it all. So you eventually, you're picking your way up through these like muddy islands. Rook is doing her best to kind of lead you all, along the driest paths, but quite frequently you are up to your knees in brackish black water, and all of the water around here seems to have this like oil slick quality to it. So it's a weird colors, and it just never seems to dry. So beyond the buzzing bugs and the constantly wet boots or hooves in some cases, and just the slippiness and the obscuring fog, it's horrible. And as you get closer and closer, towards kind of the heart of this tile area that you're aiming for, there's also a really weird smell that starts to hit your noses. It's like as you breathe it in, it's sweet, like overly, almost like fruit just on the edge of like rotting. That sense of just the overripe stench of decay, that cloying sweetness hangs in the air, and like at some points, your eyes like water already because you're having to squint, right? Because the bugs are just going right for your eyes. It's that kind of like, and basically you're at low light vision now, so even those of you with like long ranging vision, it is obscured. Basically, you can see maybe out to a range of 30 feet at this point. Everything else beyond it is terrible, and lighting condition, you can't see the sun anymore. Really, the only glow or light source coming from you are sporadic fireflies, and larger, almost like basketball-sized, like bobbing lights that you can see hovering in the distance with water all around you. And Rook, right off the bat, will say, don't ever walk towards those. Those are ghosts. Those are definitely ghosts. Will-o-wisps. Shit.
I Captain.
Yeah.
Oh, fun place.
Yeah, it's hideous. So you're wet, you're miserable, you're being eaten alive. Except for Aoife, it's like the bugs will like come to you and then like get a few inches away from your face and then sort of just like fall away, because I guess you're just like too beautiful or immortal to like even. They're like, oh,
They're
no.
like, game recognized game.
Yeah, that's not for us. So everybody except Aoife is swat, every 5 seconds. How are you all feeling after, because again, this is 2 miles across, and you're moving at a slow pace, so you are trudging for, at least 30 minutes so far through hell. How's everybody doing? Just checking in.
Tony's
Feeling
probably
soupy.
doing okay.
Soupy. Yeah, soupy. Yeah, Tony, you are used to traveling far and hard, but I don't know, has Tony spent much time in like swampy kind of environments? Like this isn't really standard for anywhere in the plains.
I mean, definitely not significant amount of time. It's stinkier and way less pleasant, but she doesn't show that she's uncomfortable or exhausted by it.
Yeah, soldiering through. Just another. Aoife, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Maybe let's get a vibe check too from Aoife the Fae walking through Fae Garden of Fae Lady.
It's because she initially went through this or accepted this boon from the sleeping court really only like a week or two ago. So this is still so fresh, and she's spent most of the time transformed back into her mortal form. And so just as she's getting used to being like a mortal again and into the rhythm of the bodily functions and sleep and having to eat, and then feeling this transformation, and she is trying so hard to like contain how great she feels, because it's just this feeling of like, yes, this is what I've been dying for, this is what I've been meant to be. And she's just like trying to maintain it, to be like, oh yeah, walking through this sucks, but really she's like, I have never felt better and I don't ever want to go back.
Yeah, it's that moment, right? Like, you know, whatever your poison might be, if it's an alcohol or a drug or, you know, exercise, or like the peak of like when all those things just like coming into your brain,
endorphins,
just the good ass chemicals, right? You're like, being mortal is terrible. I'm a god. Yeah, absolutely. As this is filtering through. So yeah, I doubt anything can probably dampen your day as you're like back. And there's something in you too. I feel like it's like your face self has almost become, you know, a subconscious voice, or like something, because you had to push it away, right? It wasn't gone. And you feel it, and it's like, oh, we're back, right? Like your body it remembers last time, right? You had that memory, and it's just cycled forward. And you get make an insight check on yourself, on kind of this strange, like this otherness.
25.
What? 25?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Okay.
She knows herself.
Yes, absolutely. You get the distinct impression. I'm not sure it bothers you, like in this like high that you're on right now, but the more you come here, the stronger that voice, the more ammunition, you know, that voice will have to always make you want to come back here.
Absolutely. I think, and that was definitely her initial idea. One, because knowing that they're being watched, and definitely like very much the mortal voice in the back of her mind is like, oh my God, I wonder what the sovereign thinks. I wonder what all these people who are watching us think now that they've seen me transform, and it can probably tell right off the bat who I'm aligned to. But that is getting squashed down.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter, because you're awesome. Like, who cares about the consequences? You're so awesome and shiny.
Like, I can handle it.
Can talk my way out of anything.
Have you seen my hair?
Look at me.
That's a problem for future Eva.
Yes. So yeah, you're making your way along here, and Rook, just after a certain point, is miserable. Is making audible sounds of misery as you're moving. She's a human and feeling it hard. So the exact opposite of Aoife in this moment, feeling her humanity. And as we're making our way through too, and this fog, just this like weird rolling effects, I think all of you probably feel a little nauseous, just seeing it. Like the way it moves in, it's like a persistent mirage effect is around you, and you can't help but like it just sucks. It just sucks. So everybody make me some perception checks. Not rolling at disadvantage, because you have some advantage on the terrain.
9.
Oh boy.
What about
Also
Emily?
9 for me.
Oh boy. Emily can. Here's what I'll do. I'll let you roll with advantage on perception checks if you have Emily help you out.
Girl.
Good,
Okay,
'cause
that's
I
better.
got an 8.
Oh
That's a
God, you
19.
got okay, a 19. All right, so Lou, so you're like, "Blah," and you hear a voice in your mind, girl, focus.
Yeah, girl.
This is
You're
just
right.
some bad mist. Like, what's going on with you?
I'm sorry, it's not my day. I'm trying to get better.
Ugh. Okay, well, do better.
Okay.
Good, encouraging. But Emily will start to describe in painful detail everything literally around you. And so Aoife got a 9 and Tony got an 8, huh? All right. So, Aoife, as you're looking like out around you, and Rook is just like leading the way, and we decided that you are kind of next to Rook in most of these cases, right? Like on our marching order. So you're like just a couple steps behind her, I think, as she's, scouting out the ways and kind of pointing to the places that are safe to step or not. And your gaze drifts off a little bit to the left as, you're thinking about yourself and this other voice and like what's going on and, kind of reflecting because it's just sort of boring to you, right? Like this is all really rolling off your back. So look around. You see a figure. All of a sudden, it is like sharp and clear, the outline of someone off in the mist, maybe 30 feet away, like just on the very edge. And you're completely sure. And as you look and your attention is focused, you see this figure that someone who you've seen from your memories before or very, very long time ago, this person dressed in almost like performers regalia, right? These like garish kind of black and white, like harlequin patterns and this like white mask on their face. And you're like, my parents, Chess, right? Chess, that was that person. And as you're looking at them, the mist like kind of threatens to consume them again. Do you want to try and hold on to the vision, what you're seeing?
Yeah, I think she holds her focus in that direction, and she digs her hand into her bag and she pulls out this little stone carving of a bird that Chess had given to her when she was a kid. This little stone sculpture of a rook, and she holds on to it desperately and like focusing in that direction.
Yeah. And as you do, that like you felt that vision slipping away from you, about to be consumed again by that fog. But as you like grip onto this visceral, this token, right? This anchoring thing, the fog clears once again, long enough for you to see the figure. So Chess rips their hand down and like something pulls, like, and it's not just the mask that they're pulling. It seems like they're pulling at the very edges of their skin, like ripping off almost like this latex thing, and this dragon face, Felix's face, is staring back at you from the fog, and there's the surprise in the moment, and then it's gone. It gets swallowed up.
Oh my god, she visibly reels back, and she, I think, even just haphazardly trips over a raised root from one of these, trees that are stuck in this.
The mangrove trees with their like sprawling kind of leaves that stick out of the roots. Yeah.
And she just splashes air unceremoniously into like, just deep water, and she's like, there are terrible visions of things in the fog here. And she looks absolutely shaken to her core.
What did you see?
Yeah, and Rook will like pick you up. She's like ready for this. She's like and grabs you by the wrist and like picks your ass up out of the water and kind of drops you unceremoniously on solid ground.
And she prestidigitates herself dry, and she says, I saw a vision of someone I knew who from my childhood, the leader of this organization that my parents work for, and then they pulled off their face like one would pull off a mask, and then I saw Felix's face, and it was also too confusing, and then it disappeared. So I think maybe this fog or this environment can read some of our memories. So she shakes the vision from her mind again. Just be on your guard.
Okay.
Are you okay to keep going?
I'm okay, but yeah, I'm all right.
All right. Just stay close to me. Tony's just gonna take a step ahead of Aoife.
Yeah, if you're seeing shit, that's not a good thing, generally. Actually, I honestly, I don't know what the deal is with this fog. It's not like anything I've ever seen in a normal swamp, so it might not be a bad idea to and she like kind of pulls like up her shirt and like ties like a scarf, like a piece of fabric over her nose and mouth. Just in case it's actually some kind of gas, because swamps, you never know.
Good point.
Yeah.
We'll take
And
the
then-
pink handkerchief that she always wears from the family and tie it around her mouth. Good call.
And of course, while that might be a good call, it just adds to the moisture, the sucking in your nostrils and your mouth now are just like that. Breathing with a mask on, that whole, with the heat and the humidity. But you do feel like after walking for a few minutes, your head might be a little bit clearer. Like the fog might be a little bit less effective. So there could be actually something to this poisonous gas theory. Beware.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is super fun. Yeah, so you continue
Love
on.
it here.
Yeah, for another 15 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and make me another round of checks, please. Perception.
15.
6.
That is a
Celeste, no.
that is a 21 for Aoife.
Okay. Oh, good. You rolled. Because Rook, your navigator, bombed this so hard. So you're all like looking around, moving forward, and Rook is like really keeping her eyes down to the ground. You've come to this place now, where I've mentioned before. So in swamps, you rarely get like full tall trees just because there's so little actual ground, but you have come to what seems like a big grove or like almost a ring of these mangrove trees, which are these really cool and weird trees that have sort of elevated roots that dig up above the water and then like shoot all the way down to the bottom of this watery point. So you are having to absolutely struggle over these roots that are tripping around, but their weird kind of vein-like branches are now just like popping these like black wires through this scintillating fog, and you're stepping through all of these, and as you come to like a big cluster of these, Rook is indicating for you all to move on, when Aoife, you hear, just you, something your keen fey senses alert you that there is something just beyond this point, just out of like view of where you currently are. And you understand why somebody might have missed it, because there's like a slow shuffling step, like something moving through the water. You can hear the swish swish, but it's not like all the other sounds you've been hearing, the fish and the other things. It almost sounds like a person.
And as Tony is, right next to Aoife, Aoife will reach out to Tony's shoulder and give her a brief tap and be like, and motion to everyone to be quiet. And she'll whisper, I hear something, like a bipedal form sloshing through the water towards us. And she'll point in the direction.
Lou will turn on her magic glasses and do heat vision.
Okay. This is interesting. So you see heat signature that is in the shape of like a humanoid person, kind of slowly ambling around, and thank God you did it from the mist. Like, you can't see shit, but it's definitely there. But it's not quite a human heat signature, and it's not quite undead. It's something a little bit slower with a little bit less like actual heat coming off it. actually, as you're looking at, like the mangrove trees around you and kind of the signature for the plants, they're almost like a faded heat, right? Because they don't operate at that same signature, but they're still alive. It almost looks like that. And this figure seems to be just like pacing back and forth, or maybe walking in circles. Like, it's really erratic and random movement.
Do you guys want to try to see what it is, or do you want to try to avoid it?
I think it's best if this place is capable of playing tricks on us that we just keep moving forward until it gives us no other choice.
Okay. Lou will try to, while she has the duration of her glasses, try to just like help everybody kind of circle around it, keeping distance from it.
Sure. Yeah, so you try and go in a wide berth, and Rook is like, because it's basically standing on that dry path right in front of you, so you all are going to have to make some stealth checks to try it, because you're going to have to wade through deep water if you want to go around.
We have plus 10, right?
For stealth?
From going slow? Or was that perception?
No, that's just basically, that's for passive
Okay.
perception, unfortunately. But you literally can use stealth if you're going slow. Otherwise, you couldn't, is the benefit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Give me those stealth checks.
Stealth. Plus 10, so that's an 18.
Okay. 18 rocks.
5.
Oh.
That is a 9 for Aoife.
Oh.
Guys, get these out now. We have a
Listen,
dragon.
they're
to fight.
walking through like thigh-high ass water, and Rook is like, it's not my fault you went off the path. So you start going, and at first you're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Shh, shh, shh. Everybody's like, oh yeah, super silent. And there is just a moment where Tony, I think you're wearing such heavy armor, and walking around on a muddy, like, base ground, you take a step, and the 100 pounds of gear or whatever on your body just like betrays you, and you feel your leg go down into like a sinkhole. And to save yourself from what would surely be death, you have to like grab onto one of these mangroves, right? And it's just the scraping and the banging of like metal, like as you're here. And of course, Aoife falls over you because you're like in step, right, at this point. So there's just an undeniable clattering and clamoring that comes.
Just rubbing her temples.
And accordingly, charging, all of a sudden, there's a moment of silence, like the fuck, and then charging out of the mist, you hear the like of something that is running very fast somehow, despite it being almost like complete water. A humanoid form that kind of shambles out from between the trees. And as you look at it, it looks like, I mean, it's dressed mostly in armor, and you can see some of like the rusted remains of like a sword and equipment, and like kind of a half like a helmet that has a big old blow in it, adorning this figure. But sprouted out of the places like where the helmet, is not covering the skin, you can see these gorgeous like black lotus blooms just sprouting from the face and flesh of whatever this thing was. And it shambles towards you. And it's gonna attack, so roll some initiative!
All right.
Yay!
15.
15. Okay. 15 for Lou.
16.
Okay, 16 for Tony.
11 for Aoife.
11 for Aoife. All right, let's roll for my boy. Oh, he's so fast. Shocker. Okay. Let's roll some other stuff. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
I'm worrying about it.
Oh no, don't worry about it. Rook rolled so good, you don't have to worry about it. No worries. Okay. Right. So this horrible thing comes shambling into sight here and is going to go ahead and as it gets in, so Rook actually gets to act first here. So let me make sure I have her sheet. And right off the bat, because she has kept her crossbow out despite all the misery that has caused trying to balance it. So pop right off the bat, she's just going with 2 big old crossbow bolts. Oh, natural 20 on the first one.
Hell
Very
yeah,
cool.
girl.
Very cool. All right. Damn, girl. She hates it. Rolling max damage. Love that. Max damage again. Love that. Okay, that's...
Oh my god.
Jesus. Okay, what is 36 plus 5? Like, right off the
41.
41,
Jesus,
baby.
Rook. All right.
She is poised and ready with that crossbow to fuck up anything's day.
Fucking like right off the bat, she just loads bolts right into this thing, and you see the head that's like encapsulated in, you know, one side is that dented armor, and then the other is this like bloated blossom thing that's like hanging off of it. Just the head, just she goes right in the neck, and the head goes flying into the water, and you're like, awesome. So good. No worries, right? And that's when you hear the 2 other, like, pattering of feet that are just swarming in from the other sides. Clearly, they were all, like, monitoring the space and coming in towards you. She's like, fuck, as trying to reload the crossbow. And then another one just comes out of nowhere and is going to tackle... let's see, I guess, Lou, you were probably the one who wasn't clustered up with everybody else. So another one, and you see this one, it looks like a lot more of their outfit is kind of rotted away, but it looks like they were wearing like cloth, like deep blue at some point that was like studded with stars, and they have kind of like a scholar cap and look, sort of gives you wizard vibes as they're coming in to... fuck your day up.
Give me a bop.
Oh, it's starting with a bite. Ain't that fun? So it comes in, you see the distended jaws open up, and as they try to latch onto you, but that's only a 15.
Nope.
Yep. So,
not anymore.
Yep.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Last time, yeah. Yesterday was when we played. I know it.
Magic armor, bitch. But don't worry, it's going to follow through with its entire body, like leading into you to a body slam since it can't get it and trying to knock you down into this horrible brackish mud. An 18, my dear.
That will hit. And I will use uncanny dodge to have whatever damage I get.
Okay, so that damage there, that's going to be 11.
I know we're not clustered together,
Yeah.
but are you? Does that mean that you're not within 5 feet of me?
I don't think so. I think you're definitely within 5 feet of Aoife.
For sure.
But I think with our formation and just falling and the bracket, it's hard to move. I'll say for that. But yeah, that was. Did you hear me? It was 11.
11. And was that halved or no?
No, not halved.
Okay.
So you'll take 5. Yeah, but that's it's right there now. So that's super fun. And you see the other one is running in just on the edge of your vision, so probably about 20 feet away from you, coming from the far side, like in the front of you was. So Tony, here you go. Let's call the one by Lou. Lou and the thing are about 10 feet away from you to the south, and then to the north, there's one about 20 feet away from you. Don't forget, this is difficult terrain, so all your movement speed is halved.
Wait, you said Lou and the other one is 10 feet away?
Yeah, to the south of you.
Okay, then I'll probably go for that guy.
Okay.
With my longsword. We're starting out two-handed. We're gonna go with a two-handed longsword attack. Huh.
Hada.
For all you podcast listeners, they're really in the moment.
We're doing action.
19. That's a 19.
19, yeah, dude. Little sure hit. Especially this
might
was
be
a wizard
tough.
type in its day. Not a lot of armor on this individual.
Squishy then, literally squishy now as they're decaying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we go. Damage.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, that's full damage plus
Ooh.
5.
Ooh.
So 15. 15 slashing, please.
Ah, that's a lot. So you hit this thing and, you carry quite a blow across its chest. And instead of like blood or like goo you might expect from an undead thing, this spray of like little tendrils and vines kind of is like released when you like cut the casing of its skin, just revealing some dope ass plant innards. Earning the body horror. Earning the body horror this
Ew.
episode. Ew.
Tony, immediately disgusted, only has another reaction to slash again with her extra attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's BM.
Well, don't you have 2 attacks?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what it is.
That was.
Okay, so you're not using your reaction. I understand.
No,
I understand what you mean.
It's just that she's like, this is nasty. Kill it.
Nasty. Kill it dead.
But that was only a 10 to hit.
Oh, it will manage to dodge out of the way. So maybe you just hit like that spray of like the vines that like pour out of it. You just cut off the tips of this thing, which doesn't seem to affect it in any way as it like kind of undulates and moves out of the way of your second strike.
Okay. And then I will take, now that I'm closer to Lou, a defensive stance. So you get your little plus to AC.
Cool. You have to whip out your shield to do that, yeah?
Yeah, I'll take the shield out now.
Okay, you can do so. All right. So defending Lou. Very good. And then that means we come to Lou. It is your turn to retaliate.
Well, thankfully my friend came, so now I can use my sneak attack. That's gonna be a million. It's
A million.
25.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, since we're doing so.
Yeah.
Well, it's shit. 2, 2, 3. 10 plus 5. 15 points of magical piercing damage.
Ooh, how do you want to take out this thing?
Ooh, yeah, I think that that seam is already ripped through this thing. She just, like she's carving up some meat, just rips down and just lets the rest of it just fall out so that it completely loses its form.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, you get away that humanoid casing, right? And then it's just like a splattering of plants that fall down. It's almost like you went after, a hedge with a hedge cutter, like the sprays of everything just falling around, and the legs just collapse down and sink into the brackish mud to be forgotten.
Love this. And I don't want to leave Tony's side, so I'm going to stay here.
Cool. Lou, make me a perception check in the middle of all this.
Still a bonus because of Emily?
Yes.
Or advantage?
Advantage.
Natural 20.
Oh, boy.
Nice.
Okay. So as you you hit that spray and raining down, and as this is, peppering, basically raining down from the sky, you see that just beyond you, like in a mangrove tree, maybe, 15 feet or so away, there is something that moves, like leaping up on a branch, a figure in green armor. And at first it's hard to see because the branches, the antlers of it look so much like branches. It almost camouflages.
The Green Knight.
Do you want to try and see more? Focus on this vision.
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
Tell
Roll me a
me.
perception. With advantage because of Emily. She's hearing it too.
17.
Okay, 17. So as you are looking, like focusing, because again, the fog threatens to swallow up whatever it is you're seeing, you hear above the buzz of insects and the rush of water a voice that you didn't hear before. Jada's voice. My love, we will never be free. like comes in like a hiss to you from the distance. And as you focus on that, the mist pulls it away from you and it's gone.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that she really is going to have anything to say at this current moment. She's a little busy, and that's a little traumatizing. But her face just goes, all the rosiness in her cheeks is just gone, and she just looks flat purple, nothing else. And she has to take a moment to refocus her eyes back towards the impending danger. But clearly she's been affected by something.
Yup.
I've just got shivers.
Swamps are fucked. So with that, we are going to go ahead and move to Aoife. So there is another one of these things. It's about 20 feet away from you. You get the sense based on how it's moving. It is going to come right and tackle you if you let it get any closer.
So she is going to pull out a dagger and she's going to try something that I feel like maybe she's seen Lou do before. And she is going to try and throw a dagger at this creature. Mm-hmm. And she's going to try and do a pinning shot.
Ooh!
So if her attack lands, it's going to have to...
some TOV weapon option bullshit. Yeah.
So if her attack lands, it'll get pinned to a nearby mangrove tree. But we'll see if we can do it first.
Step 1, make the attack roll. So as a thing, weapon options in Tales of the Valiant are something you can do with a weapon in lieu of damage. So you could use like what Aoife is doing. Instead of dealing damage, if she hits with a dagger, she is going to pin the creature and try to restrain it, basically keep it from moving. And every weapon in Tales of the Valiant has one or two different weapon options it can do along this way.
So we got a 16 to hit.
Okay, that'll do it.
All right, so I needed to make a strength or a dex save, whichever it wants, against DC 14. And if it fails, it is pinned for the turn, and then on its turn, it can use its action to use an acrobatics or an athletics to get out of it.
All right. Woo, okay, I got an 8, a hot freaking 8. So we came in swinging with Rook and nothing left for the monsters on my roll. So you go ahead and you throw your dagger and you're like, haha, hope it works. And just like right through the heart of this thing, just clunk, and like right as it was like passing, kind of diving around a tree, it staggers and you hear the right as it's like trying to move. So total zombie, like, stuck to something, like clawing at itself, not understanding why it can't move.
Oh, so good. And Aoife like shouts out, and she's like a little just like, oh my god, Blue, did you see that? I did it!
Suck it! Shit, girl. I think you muted Katie, but I saw the shit girl in your eyes.
She like doesn't even notice. She like just like turns back and she's like, what? Oh, and sees it and it's like, great, yeah, amazing, good job.
And then knowing that Lou like gave a way less energetic than a response that she would have expected, she's going to reach out psychically and give her that D8 of bardic inspiration, because girl seems like she needs it.
Yeah.
Something spooked. You don't even know.
Something clearly spooked Lou. It's not clear what, but I think you all can read that. And I'll say, if you would like, we can continue initiative. It's going to be this thing's turn. It has to waste its action, like, trying to get itself off. But if you wanted to stop, maybe investigate this thing or look at, like, you can take the time to do that now. It's up to you guys what you want the narrative flow to be right here.
I mean, if we take the time to do that, are we going to be able to see if we come across any other things? Like, can we determine what kind of vulnerabilities or anything like that it might have?
Sure, yeah. If you want to go ahead and kind of take a look at it, and then, before putting it out of its misery, we can certainly do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that Lou would definitely try out using her firebolt cantrip on it since we're in like the Blossom Court to see if it does double damage. Like,
Yeah.
Or half
Yeah.
as much because of all the how waterlogged it is.
yeah.
Good
Yeah.
call.
This thing, it's like struggling, and like as you're observing it too, you realize that it's not very intelligent at all. So this thing, it's not, while it's clearly made from the corpse of a fallen adventurer, it is not undead. Whatever these plants are like puppeting it, so its sentience is pretty damn limited. You're seeing as it's trying to puzzle out how to get itself off of this thing here, and as you like blast it with a firebolt, and its like body kind of shudders as it dies. It doesn't seem like the fire did particularly much of anything. So unlike a lot of plant creatures, you think, yeah, the waterlogged, the nature, like all the vines in this thing, the hybrid, it does not seem to have any like overt vulnerabilities or resistances or immunities at all that you can see. But it is safe to assume these things are plants, so some conditions that might affect the mind are not going to affect this thing. So I'll give it to you right now. It has plants resilience, resistant to exhaustion, paralyzed, petrified, and unconscious. But no other immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities. It is definitely a Last of Us situation. Thank you, Sage, in the chat. Yes, that is what these things are.
Yeah, I think that at that point, after a quick scan to just make sure no more are coming,
Yeah.
Lou would look at everyone and be like, guys, I had a vision of the Green Knight, and hate to report, it's my ex, because of course it is. So I don't really know what that's going to mean for us in the long term, but let's not forget the last time I saw her, she mentally kidnapped me. Just
Wait.
putting that out there.
I'm
Was it
sorry.
like-
You
Go ahead.
had a vision of the Green Knight, but it was your ex?
Yeah, I heard Jada's voice.
How do we know? I mean, first of all, we don't know. How would Jada or whatever Jada is right now know where we are? How could they reach us? What if it's just the Green Knight fucking with you? If
I
this
think it
fog can
was-
somehow access your memories, maybe the Green Knight can harness that power as well.
I think that it was a vision, and what we do know is that the Green Knight is undead. We know what's happening with Jada. We know that she is under the foot of Hecate. To me, it makes fucking sense.
I mean, with the knights having the iconography of tarot cards, of tools of divination, I think that these knights must be some way connected to Hecate, to the heavenly court, because they care about fate and things like that, and accumulating knowledge and stuff like that. So, I mean, my guess is that these knights are probably cursed by her, and she's probably trying to send these knights in to undercut our efforts to ally with the Blossom Sovereign. But I mean, was it like a situation like I saw Chess turn into the form of Felix? I mean, could that have been the case? I don't want this to go down a rabbit hole that if it's just your mind playing tricks on you, but it is certainly a possibility.
And there is a little whisper in your mind from Emily that says, and girl, well, I know you definitely saw it, and I felt you see it, and I saw it through you. Are you sure it wasn't just a trick? Because I'm not.
Lou just throws up her hand. She's like, I'm just telling you what I saw and what I think.
But it seems like as we continue through here, maybe it's adapting to the environment is adapting to our presence more.
I mean, I don't really know what we could do about it, but thank you for telling us. And
Don't think that there is anything that we can do about it. I just want it to be upfront, and I don't. She looks like visibly annoyed because she like really feels like this is a truth right now. And she's like, all of my friends are telling me like I'm probably just going a little crazy right
you
now.
saw it, you heard it, you definitely saw and heard it.
But just remember what she's capable of and what this place is capable of, and just let us know if you see anything else.
Yeah. Let's go.
It's a shitty place to be. All right, I'm
having fun.
I'm having fun. I love playing games with my friends. So you finally, you put this last plant corpse thing out of its misery, before kind of collecting yourselves and moving back onto that main path. Now that you're mostly sure that whatever this cluster of things is dealt with. I will also say just one more detail about these things before you move along. Something like they were really well preserved. Like the humanoid parts of them weren't rotted or like decaying in a way that you would normally expect of undead. So you're not sure if this is like a magical property of the swamp or like a feature of what's going on, but something really weird happens to people who die here. And I think that kind of hideous thought, can't help but circulate across your mind as you're continuing forward in this dark and horrible place. So you continue moving on for another 15 minutes or so when finally you feel the terrain start to shift. So far you've just been walking in kind of flat, boggy, endless wasteland. But now you come to a point where it feels like you're standing on more of like a hard ridge, and you can see you've reached like the edge of a crest. And as you look down, there's this massive like bowl-shaped slope in the very, very center of what you feel this tile must be. And in it, stretching up from the basin of this thing all the way up into the air, like beyond your field of vision, is a massive mangrove tree. Like, this thing must be at least 60 feet, like, in diameter, or across, like, from side to side. It's huge. You've never seen anything like it. It almost looks like multiple trees have, like, woven together, like, to form this complex net of roots in this, like, just beautiful and impressive single tree here. And all around it at the very basin of this thing, you can see like where the standing water has all like filled in. There is just this beautiful field of like black lotus blossoms floating on this water with these green lily pads and algae. So it's this like pop of like green and beauty surrounded by all of this like nonsense. And as you're looking up to the tree, like, again, obviously massive, huge thing, but you can see that there are portions of it where, like, the roots have unlaced themselves, right? Like, allowing for quite substantial, like, holes at different places, like, at different heights on the tree that perhaps are large enough to accommodate even a dragon passing in and out of this thing.
All right, is there anything that we want to do before we enter?
Yeah, sure looks like maybe a dragon lair that you're looking for. Sure does.
How are people feeling?
Oh, what was that, Miss?
Just how are people feeling health-wise? Do we need to take a little breather?
I only took 5 damage. I don't think anyone else took damage.
Okay. Cool. Just checking.
Question for the DM.
Yes.
For the polymorph spell.
Yes.
So it doesn't technically say that you have to have physically seen a creature, but I know that because I looked on the internet for the answer. I know that a lot of people do say that you have to have seen it, but I would assume it's up to DM discretion. So, like, if I wanted Lou to, I don't know, turn into a dragon.
So polymorph, you can only become a beast.
A beast? Oh, shit.
It does
okay.
specify there. So you have to do, it's true polymorph, the 9th level version that you can turn into, like, fucking anything. Yeah.
But either way, do I have to have seen it in order to?
I'm gonna go with no, because this is magic, but I think you should at least be, like, aware the thing exists, right? Because you're, like, willingly transforming. So even if you've never seen, like, I don't know, a giant eagle in real life, if you've at least, like, you know of them, you know what they look like, you've seen a picture in a book, right? Like, I think that's totally within the realms of magic. Unlike wild shape for druids, it's like you really have to have studied the animal and, like, understand it and, like, be around it. But this spell is like, hell yeah, I want to be a dinosaur, you know, like that.
I've heard of dinosaurs. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it's a 4th circle spell, so, I mean, it's pretty big punching power. This was a spell some wizard was like, you know, it'd be fucking hilarious, guys, if we're all velociraptors, right? Like, that's what the spell was made for.
Or, I don't know, a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
CRE.
Whoa.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
All right, that's my question. Other than that, I am good.
Cool. Yeah, so looking ahead, clearly it's not going to be easy to get into this thing. That is going to be the first challenge. Step 1, you've got a big ass lake of water around this thing that you have to deal with. Step 2, it doesn't look like there's any, like, neat ground level entrances. These are entrances for dragons, which have wings. So you're gonna have to, like, climb up the tree or do something to, like, reach. You can see there is, like, an entrance that's about 30 feet above the surface of the water. But yeah, you can't just fucking walk up to it. That's for damn sure. So there's got to be some strategy here.
I mean, do you have means of flying, Aoife? Rook?
Aoife
like,
cannot fly, but Aoife does have a climbing speed.
So does Rook. But flying, no, that's not really my magic. Is not my whole.
So to make sure I'm visualizing this correctly, you said, like, it's within, like, a basin, so we're kind of like the edge, and then it sinks down and it's, like, coming up from it?
Yeah, it's like you're standing on, if there's a crater in the ground, you're, like, at the top of the crater, right? And there's the big bowl in front of you here. The bottom of the bowl is covered in the lake, and the very center is this fucking huge tree.
Are we against just swimming over there?
Yeah. I'm deeply against just swimming over there. I do not want to know what is in that water.
Yeah, you can't see what is below the lily pads, for sure.
Do we think that, like, doing a running long jump onto one of the branches of this tree is feasible?
So I guess, let's see. So if the tree itself, let's say we've got about, how much water? At least 30 feet of, like, solid water between you. Like, if you climb down, you scrabble down, 5 to 10 feet, you'll probably hit the edge of the water. And then I would say that's like a 30 feet directly from there to the tree itself. So running leap would get you closer, but I feel like most of those, like, Aoife, you can jump pretty damn far with your running leap. But I think that's, like, kind of caps out around the 18 to 20 feet, right? We can do the calculations.
We can, if we do a running long jump, we can do half our walking speed. So it'd be like 15 feet.
Yeah. So you'd, be able to cannonball at least halfway. But there would still be some swimming involved at the end of that.
You said there's lily pads. Could we potentially jump on the lily pads?
This is not an anime. They're not that big. They're like real lily pads.
Listen, I don't know, because we're sitting at the base of this fucking giant mangrove
That's
tree.
fair, but these are normal ass lily pads.
Okay.
The biggest one is maybe the size of your face, and they're like a millimeter thick.
Are there
No,
any
I want to
like
walk on
fallen?
these.
Are there any fallen trees, logs
You think
around us?
like around you? Yeah, for sure. If you
Yeah.
wanted to like use them to maybe help yourself, for sure. But there's none like from the tree on the water. It's like whatever would have cracked off has definitely probably sinking to the bottom of the water, so none are visible. But there is certainly plenty of debris and detritus around you from all the other mangroves.
I'm just trying to think about how long it
Ooh.
would take us to craft a raft.
Okay, here's an idea. Good thought, Sam. I love that. Building off of that with all this like detritus that's around. Eva can use her dancing item to be able to like animate one of these logs so that it could like carry us or ferry us across the top of the water so we can get to the base of the tree and then
Yeah.
climb.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down with that. If this is going to involve athletic checks, I'm going to be flying instead because
You do have a
We don't
potion
want
of
that for
fly,
me.
and you do have some
Emily.
others. Yeah, but also keep in mind, if the dragon is in that tree, that's a very tall tree, so you might have to be potentially dealing with a tall arena for the very big old battle. Just a warning.
I'm down to try that, Sage. And then if it doesn't work, maybe I can speak to the lily pads and ask them to
Be
load
like,
us
form,
For us.
formate, get information.
group up, boys.
All right. So
Carry
all
me.
right. So Aoife will use her performance of creation. So as an action, she can create a non-magical item up to size large and up to 140 GP's worth. That'll last for 3 hours. So she's gonna create a raft.
Raft. Excellent. Yeah, so and I think large size should be enough to cover 4 medium creatures. I mean, it'll be a tight fit, but you're all on there. And I think any raft worth its salt could lift probably less than 500 pounds, which has got to be all of you. Hell yeah, dude. Fuck
Let's
yeah.
go.
Using our
Hell
features.
yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right. Cool. What does your raft look like?
I think it is just very basic of like strips of tinder lashed together with twine at both ends. So just very flat, easy to get on, and even so, I imagine probably us going 2 at a time just to be safe.
Sure.
And we can like one of us can take the rope, hold on to it, get across, and then pull the rope back, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. So who do you want to go first?
for the climbing or
Just ferrying across. So it sounds like the plan is put the thing in the water, right? With 2 people, have them go across with a rope, and then tie off the rope at the end. Yeah, and then send it back. So I guess you
Yeah.
have one person who has to ferry back and forth.
So you could one person like one of the people holding the rope before they get off, they can like tie it into one of the rope at the end, and then the other people on the other side can use that to pull the raft back to them.
I see. Like a pulley.
And then they can push themselves across.
Clever.
I guess Rook and I can go first. And
Yeah.
best friends?
totally
Best friends club.
working
Yeah.
together.
Rook is like, yay. The Fae in the party. Yay. No, she doesn't say anything. She's just muddy and uncomfortable anyway, and just happy there's a fucking raft and she's not going to have to swimming in her
Have to get a
goddamn armor.
nasty unknown water. Yeah.
It's a sigh of relief, honestly, when the raft appears. And how long does the raft? It's like an hour, right? We don't have to worry about time.
It lasts for 3 hours.
Okay, yeah, all right. So time is not, so we're okay. Yeah, because it's probably going to take 15 minutes or so to ferry all the way across. Like, you're slow. I mean, you don't have a proper oar. You can certainly, Rook will grab, like, the branches that look best, right? The big pieces of driftwood.
Kind of push away.
Yeah, you're pushing. Yeah, so you start off on this plan and you begin ferrying, and you're about halfway across when you hear a splashing sound and hands like start reaching up off the side and like rocking the fuck out of the boat as you see these like corpse things with the plants growing out of them like lift up. Some of the lily pads you actually see are sprouted out of their skin and are trying to drag you off. Make me a dexterity save, please, Aoife, or be pulled into the water.
All right, we're going to use our force of personality to re-roll that because that was garbage.
Oh, no. And then you'll have to describe to me how you're using your force of personality, please, to get out of this situation.
Please tell me.
Immediately.
Yes, so as one of these hands just flashes around her ankle and she shrieks bloody murder, and I think Rook at the last second grabs Aoife's hand so she doesn't go flying back into the water, and she just looks into like the lotus eyes of this creature and she just whips her ankle away from it. And yeah, you see it like almost a psychic push as it's as she gets a 19 to escape that.
Yeah, it's just like, not today. It's like your Fey rage, just like your charisma, like punches it in the face, and you see this thing like drifts off away from the boat. Yeah, and Rook is just she's fine. She's going like shooting fish in a barrel, kind of like down on top. She's like, take the oar, take the oar. So Aoife, you're going, and
furiously pushing.
Yeah, just shooting things as they come up, and you get to like towards the roots of this thing, and you know, Rook will like throw the rope in your face as she's now to save bolts. She's like pulled out her daggers and she's like stabbing hands as they come out.
Aoife is furiously trying to make a quick knot to lash it onto the raft so that they can pull it across.
Make me a sleight of hand check.
Absolutely.
Oh, no.
That is a natural one.
Awesome. But you think you did awesome, and that's what is important here. So you tie off your rope. It's the best knot you've ever made in your whole life. And Rook looks at you like, we good!
Yeah, and Aoife calls back, pull it back!
Okay.
As she starts trying to climb up the tree to get to higher ground.
Yeah, so you and Rook, and again, because there's no, like, real landing point, but luckily you both have climb speed, so you don't need to, like, make any athletics checks to get up here, but, oh boy, will the next set. And so you and Rook can take a perch, 5 to 10 feet above the water pretty easily. And it seems like the moment you living people are like off the raft, like the hands kind of retreat into the water. And so Lou and Tony, you guys are able to pull the rope back without any fuss, but you know what's in store for you.
Lou looks at Tony and she's like, we can do that if you want. Or we could fly.
How long does that potion last?
I spell lasts up to an hour, I believe.
Yeah, because Emily has fly, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So Lou can cast it on herself, and if if Tony takes the potion, let me see. It might be 10 minutes, but it's still a pretty generous amount of time if you hustle.
Potion of flying.
That's 1 hour. Yeah.
1 hour, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd be into that, because the other option, I was going to say I could mold or shape water and just create a wave that helps us get there faster.
You'd still be dealing with, there's a lot of not dead people in this water. I'm just gonna say right now.
All right, fine, we'll do our flying.
Oh, man,
Okay.
but it would have been so fun when you had to sink halfway through because of the shitty rope knot. Oh.
We chose life
Ruined my
today.
fun. It was going to be so fun for me.
I think you guys like probably turn back and like look to see like how we're faring, and like you just see Tony and Lou just like arms crossed, like talking to each other, and Lou reaches back and just like holds on to Emily's hilt and there's a green glow from the emeralds on her, and then she just starts rising up.
Yeah, you hear Emily's like, no one has time for that shit.
I'm telling you, in this
Mm-mm.
economy,
Mm-mm.
time is money.
Mm-mm. This face takes a long ass time to put on, and that water would not do it any favors.
Lou has so many questions about that statement, but she's just gonna fly over.
And Aoife, you hear Rook's like, well, they could have fucking done that. What the fuck?